Welcome back to another video, traders, and if you're new to the channel, welcome to Trading Trends. I'm TJ, and we are finally taking another look back at ISRG. We did a video on August 1st and another one on August 17th, but you guys had asked me to do a follow-up post-split, and I've just been really busy, so I apologize for the delay, but we're finally going to take another look. So let's get into the chart. Alright, here's the chart for ISRG. This is a 4-hour, 180-day chart. So the last video was around August 17th, quite a while ago. I guess that was right around this breakout here. So breaking what was the previous all-time high at the time, and this was somewhere, around 1,066 or something like that. This was obviously pre-split. So 345, we're just going to call it going forward. And then they broke out that day. So we're talking about basically potential, long-term potential, implications for the split, and long story short, we didn't really see a whole lot more action, and we still really haven't leading up into the split. We were hoping that would be a catalyst, as we've seen for other splits, and that there might be a huge run-up going into this split that actually took place. I believe it was on the 3rd. It's not going to tell me. So it was either October 3rd or October 5th. Either way, we ended up sort of slowly working up, getting a few more points, and ending up at a post-split price that was the all-time high at the time of 362 before getting into an extended downtrend. And we basically, up until fairly recently, were following this downtrend line, finally testing it on October 19th, so about 2 weeks after the split, and then breaking out the very next day. And we really haven't, we bounced off this a little bit times. We haven't really revisited this level. We've continued upwards. So now over the past few days here, finally breaking that previous all-time high just by a couple of points. So from 359 a couple of days ago, maybe this was on Monday, we saw 365. In the past 2 days, we've seen a little bit lower consolidation. So I just want to take a look back historically, and then we'll do a projection as far as what we can hope for going forward. So this is going to be a 5-year, 1-day chart, and I just wanted to show you guys this long-term growth trend line that we have here. Typically, ISRG is operating below this line. A couple of years ago in 2018, when we made new all-time highs, we did break above it briefly, and then we spent roughly 2 years consolidating right around this level, a post-split price of 190 or so. So this was not quite 800, or I'm sorry, 600 pre-split. This is going into 2020, and in the middle of 2020, finally had a huge breakout from 192 straight up to 260, bouncing off again this trend line here into the end of the year, again getting rejected off of this top trend line, and spending about 6 months consolidating around this 260 level before earlier this year in April breaking out and making a new all-time high at 300, coming back to test this, and then going on this run that we saw earlier this year, sort of leading up and into the split. So the point being, we are currently above this long-term trend line again. Typically we don't spend a whole lot of time above this trend line. We spent, let's see, from June 6th to October 12th. So is that 3 or 4 months? My math is, I think that's 3 months. So right now, breaking above on June 18th, typically, you, based on this historical pattern, you would say we're kind of on borrowed time right now, but the momentum is with us. The market has really never been stronger, and ISRG's stock looks better than ever, and I think now it's at an even more attractive price point, at least from a visual perspective, after the split, as opposed to paying closer to $800 or $1,000 a share. People can easily wrap their head around a $360 share price. So last thing to wrap up the video, what can we expect now that we're breaking into new all-time highs? How much more does this thing have to go? From a fundamental analysis perspective, it's still one of the strongest stocks in the world. Literally, if you watch my last video, ISRG is a top 5 equity in my opinion. It's up there with Amazon, Visa, Apple, the best companies in the world as far as where you can put your money and what you're going to get back for it. They just make money. And they had an earnings report most recently post split for $1.19 a share, which it looks like a huge drop back, but you kind of got to multiply that by 3 when you're looking at these previous revenue reports. So around $3.57 per share, right on line with the amazing numbers that we've seen from them in the past, and still sort of coming out of some post-pandemic delays that we've seen. Again, these are medical devices, so things that affect the larger economy and especially the medical community affect ISRG. So long story short, I want to show you guys a Fibonacci retracement that I'm going to use as a projection for a possible future price point, and we're going to go from the previous all-time high last year from around September 20th to the pandemic low. I just think it's a good show of range as far as what we got out of the recovery and what we can expect to see in the future. So if you'll notice, this is our 100% line that we kind of consolidated around and then finally broke out. Our 161.8% line, that's right around where we just recently broke out of, right around 348. And as you can see, that's been a big resistance. We got a little bit of a pushback there, consolidated and found support around 329. And now working our way back up above that level again, making new all-time highs. The next level, the 261.8% level on this retracement, is up at 488. And I think, I can't really remember from my last video, again, it was 2.5 months ago, but I believe pre-split, this was on August 17th, I had done a retracement like this, predicting a price very near the 1450 or 1500 level. So if you divide that by 3, that's about 500. So similar to what we're seeing from this retracement, I probably use the same line here. So no big surprise there. That seems like a long way off, but we're looking on a larger time frame here, guys. This isn't going to happen tomorrow. We're projecting future returns over a 6 to 12 to maybe possibly even an 18-month time frame of what could happen. So assuming that ISRG remains one of the best companies in the world, there's no reason to expect that they're not going to hit this price point eventually. I also wouldn't be surprised to see an extended consolidation period like we had here in 2018 after breaking above this green trend line. And I think that's really the key for me. I think the bullishness, you really have to remain bullish as long as we can stay above this trend line. So right now, far out and above it, breaking into new all-time highs. I'm very bullish on ISRG. If we start to pull back and get back below this line, it's going to be a tough resistance to break out of, as we've seen in the past. So there's your long-term price target, 488.86. If you're a buy and hold person, no reason to change your tune on ISRG right now, especially making new all-time highs. And just from a fundamental perspective, this is a great company with a great road ahead. So that's going to wrap it up for the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. I know it's been a long time. I've been very busy lately. I'm not going to get into it here. I want to wrap this video up for you guys, but hopefully over the next week or so, I'm going to be able to get into a better routine and start posting videos on more of a regular basis. So if you have a stock that you want me to take a look at, go ahead and leave it down below in the comments, and I should be able to do that. Hopefully at least one video a week, if not back to the regular schedule of making videos on a somewhat daily basis. But thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a like and support the channel. Comment below and let me know what you think about ISRG, and also let me know if there's a stock that you want me to take a look at. Thanks as always for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.